Hello, and a very, very good morning to you. Welcome to Wednesday. Yes, in case you just got up in the morning thinking, what day is it? What day is it? Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's the Spiritual Astrology Show with my good friend Guiomar. But just before I introduce Guiomar into the show, I come on a few minutes early. Just helps the producer who's running around like crazy. She's everywhere at the moment. And what she's doing, she's actually sending out all the details of the show to everyone else. So it flows easier, as you understand now. In fact, I'm just seeing what she's up to at the moment. Yeah, she's just at the very moment here, just making sure that everything works okay. And yes, we've got loads of things going on today. In fact, the messages are coming through. They're coming through. Yeah, there they are. They're coming through. Everything's going mad at the moment. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. Anyway, so just to let you know, just prior to starting here, this is Cafe Clairvoyance. It's the Wednesday show. It's a spiritual astrology show. So we mix spirituality and astrology. We put in tarot, we put in numerology, and we also have a really good chat. Always an eventful day, these Wednesdays, always. And just so you know what's coming on this week, on Sunday coming up here is the Sunday Spiritual Show, which starts at 7 o'clock in Spain, 6 o'clock in the UK. And in this show here, what we're doing, we talk about past life regression. Why are we talking about past life regression? Well, we're moving into a new era, and we perhaps need to let go of a lot of things here from the past. So this is where we're looking a little bit. So yes, that's that. Anyway, lovely to see so many people on this morning, and I'm just going to put a little bit of intro music on, and then I think it's time to get Guiomar on the show. I'll just see where she is. I'm sure she's hiding. Last night, it was great fun on the internet. We had a great show last night, which is the mediumship show, which is with my good friend Helen Grady. And it was nice to know actually that a lot of people, unfortunately, the internet broke down for a lot of people around the world, wherever they were. We had America online, we had Belgium, we had Germany, we had the UK, we had Spain, and New Zealand even popped on the line as well last night. And just to let you know, just give you some bit of feedback here, there's a couple of people who phoned back in after the show, and suddenly we're actually saying here we couldn't get through, but the messages we were giving they could take, and one of them actually gave a lot of clarification. So when we do the show again, we'll go over this in a bit anyway, right, okay, so I think it's about time I brought in my good friend Guiomar and said a big hello Guiomar, are you there?
Hello, how are you?
Oh, there you are. Good morning to you. Lovely to see you. Lovely to welcome you to the show here. Always good. We've got loads of people here coming through. We've got Luton, we've got Bedford, we've got Suffolk, we've got and loads of other places all coming online this morning. And already loads of you here. So great. So so how's your week been? How have you been?
Me. I
don't think there's anyone else here at the moment.
Right now. It's so crazy. So we started, like, lockdown has softened up a bit here in Spain, but it's kind of weird, it's like I don't want to be out there. I want to stay at home. And with all these retrogrades happening, all these planets going retrograde, it's like I want to go back. I want to go in. It's a bit that kind of feeling.
It's a bit of an interesting one, isn't it? I was actually thinking this morning, talking to a friend of mine this morning, and this energy we've got going around, it's like we're all supposed to come out and the planets go backwards, then we all want to go back in again. So we're thinking actually of doing a telephone line, a live telephone line. I thought it'd be great fun. It's like with like an answering machine to it. It's like press 1 for panic, press 2 for chaos, and press 3 for the Cafe Clairvoyant show on the Wednesdays. Full of calmness, full of positivity. We show you loads of guidance. So you know which one to press, button 3. Okay, all right. Now let's get on with the show. Anyway, so yes, let's get these little dragons on here, because none of the producers. There's loads of internet issues around the world this morning. I don't know what kind of what's going on. It must be something to do with retrogrades. But while she's doing that, let's meet 3 dragons. Let's meet 3 dragons. Perhaps you guys know some dragons out there, but these are our 3. Well, the reason why I put that up there is to encourage you, lovely people out there, to share this live feed and to like it, and also to let everybody know about it, because more people are out there. Great. The producer is online. That's good. It's always a good sound, because sometimes when the internets play up, which I do in Spain, more frequently sometimes other places, we have to wait until Deborah gets online here, because then she can put the feeds out to different places and attract you lovely people. Let you know this is on. Okay, so retrogrades here. I know a lot about these. The viewers out there probably thinking here, retrograde, yes, I've heard the word, don't know quite what it means. What are retrogrades?
Well, astrology, as we use it, is based on the Earth. So it's how we look at the stars, seeing it. It's the Earth's point of view of the stars. So as the orbits of the planets go behind the sun and behind us, it sort of like makes an apparent movement backwards. So apparently they move backwards, and this was like for medieval astrologers, it was like a real headbanger. They was like, we don't get it. What's going on? Why do some stars move backwards? And they made all these incredible like plans, and they even made models of how it was possible for the Earth being in the middle of the universe and the stars having that movement backwards. So I'm saying this because explanations of things are really much more simple, but when you don't know, when you don't have all the facts, when you don't know absolutely everything, your mind does like miracles trying to fix things into like pieces of the puzzle into slots where it just doesn't go in. So this is what happened before. I can't remember, it was Copernicus or Galileo. Sorry, I think it was Copernicus. He devised a model saying, no, wait a minute. It's the sun that's in the middle of everything. And by the way, the sun in astrology has to do with the self, where we thought it was the Earth that was the middle of everything. And when the Earth is in the middle of everything, things just don't make sense. So you really have to go through very difficult and convoluted explanations to figure things out. So that's a little bit of where we're at in a certain way. And these retrogrades are sort of like making us think, well, like, are you sure of what you're thinking, of what you're doing? Are you sure? Because maybe things are not so complicated. Maybe things are simpler. So now it's like, I don't know, it's a feeling like getting trapped in your own complexity, and that complexity comes from trying to find an explanation of things when you don't have all the facts. So you have to make a really difficult explanation of things. Does that make sense, or was it too convoluted?
No, absolutely, absolutely. Here, we both work in astrology, but I love doing this show because your version, I call it a version, but your professional approach to this, I love. Absolutely love it. I love listening to you. And just to help you guys understand what's going on today here is Guiomar is a psychologist. She's also a brilliant, very good astrologer, and she works a lot on Lilith, which Lilith, all you just need to know is that Lilith is not a planet, it's a space in space, but it has a relevance to astrology, and very much so. This is a show where we integrate the two pathways of spirituality and astrology combined together, and we take your questions, we look at it through the tarot, we look at it through numerology, and we also look at it through astrology, and if there's any spiritual messages that come through as well, then we love to do that as well. And yes, so this is very much about talk about this ethos here. Now, one of the ways I look at retrogrades is imagine you're on a fast train. You're on a fast train and you're on that fast train and it's going, and you're the train driver. You're the train driver. So you can see out the front window. And in front of you is a train that is also moving forwards, but it's not as fast as yours. It's not as fast as yours. So you're catching up with the train. But as far as you can see, the train ahead is still moving forwards. Then when you catch up with it and you overtake the train, that train you're overtaking appears to look like it's going backwards, but it's not. It's still going forwards. So we then move on. We then get to, and then what happens in astrology is the fast train then reaches a station, and that slow train, after a while, slowly comes in and catches back up again, and then we all start the process again. So retrogrades is just going, and I think one of your examples here, which I think is fantastic, and is especially when we've got Mercury, Venus, and planets like this here, is when a planet's going direct or is going apparently going forwards, everything is external. Everything we see is like we're focusing, we're bringing out and putting external. When it goes retrograde, we go internal. Now, with the personal planets, I totally would agree with that. What about the big ones like Saturn, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune? When they start going retrograde, do you think that's the same effect that we still go internal?
Yeah, I mean, in general, it's like a slowing down. It's in a way, it makes it softer. It makes them go softer.
Yes.
Because maybe they're not as like that. The energy is not so boom, but it always, like, any change really allows you to go inward, and especially if it's like retrograde has a lot to. It's very much associated with going inwards in a way, no?
Yes. Yes.
It's going slower too. For example, a Uranus going direct can be too harsh or too quick. And if it's going retrograde, it really allows you to say, okay, well, what's the change inviting me to do?
Yes.
Right? So in this sense, it's helpful.
There's quite a lot to go and do at this moment in time, isn't there? It is interesting because we've had all this stuff going forwards. We've been through the corona. We're all coming out, and then all these planets say, oh, hang on a minute, we're going backwards. Or they're parent going backwards. So the way I see this here is that we're coming out to the outside world, but we're going backwards to go and backtrack over the stuff and the changes we've done so far that have been put into place. And actually, sometimes it gives you the opportunity to go over things again. It's almost like, well, you've painted your house, you've done a nice job there, but now you're going back into it just to tidy up the edges, just to make it look nicer, but you're going back to do stuff. It's not any. Well, one thing we sort of suggest in astrology is it's never really a good idea to start something new, especially when you've got a lot of planets in retrograde, because the planet's saying here, look, finish off the past stuff first, finish off that era, and then we can start to move forwards. But absolutely fascinating. And I think a lot of people have got loads of questions this morning that are going to be interesting. Oh, look at the time there, 11:11. 11:11. You're 10:11 in the UK. 11:11. I love numbers and numerology. When we start seeing that, it's lovely. Okay, so who we got online this morning? Taz Sembrook says, good morning, lovely people. The producer says, hello from sunny Spain. And I know that she's just sorting out the Cafe Clairvoyance group, the crazy people there, the scallywags and the all sorts there. Because every now and then, the Clairvoyant group, Cafe Clairvoyance group needs a whipping. That's it, just to keep them in line there, because I know what you lot are like in a group there. And okay, so we just want to say a big good morning. And because it's quite early, I mean, some of you people there are probably all sorts around the world and world here. Maybe some of you have been now behind, maybe some of you just got up. So yes, I think it's time for you two guys to get going there. Anyway, and okay, as you can tell, the barbers in Spain are now open. But I gather they're not yet in the UK. I gather they're not. That's what I've heard anyway. And okay. Oh, Sharon Jack says I have shared. Guys, look at this. It says Sharon has shared. Share the posts. Share the post. Share it all live out there. Julie Pilk says good morning. Good morning. And we've got Tyler Mitchell. Tyler Mitchell. Hello. Good morning, lovely people. She's a lovely lady to lovely people. How's that? And we also have Kat Farley on. Kat Farley on. And we have, who else got here? We've got Liz, and we've also got Cafe Clairvoyance. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us in the Cafe Clairvoyance, the spiritual astrology show. Thank you very much to the producer and everyone else here I need to say hello to. So, yes, guys, if you'd like to join the Cafe Clairvoyance group, and there's some questions there to ask, which are simple questions. There's no rocket science. It's basically here to say here, if you like this sort of stuff, just tick the box. Yes. And if you like to watch, so yes. And then you're welcome into the group of lovely people, and everyone talks to one another. It's interesting here. So, in fact, I think I heard even the. In fact, I think the producer's on the phone line now to some of the people in the clairvoyant group, just seeing what they're up to. Yeah, good. So they all understood that. That's wonderful. Good. Okay, so we've also got here. So we've got Saturn going backwards, which has just started to go backwards, and even people from America have been on the phone to me saying, "Phil, what is going on?" Why is Saturn creating such a drama for people at the moment? Have you got what's your philosophy on this just at the moment, going retrograde?
Well, for me, it's like it's a process of building up. It's to create an inertia, to create some. It's, for example, imagine if you're going to do something, you're going to plan something, right? You're not just going to go headstrong, just go forward without even thinking about it. No, and some people can do that, but most people, it's not a good idea, because if you just are very impulsive, normally that impulsivity is driven by old patterns that you're not actually acknowledging, and you do want to let go, because towards where you want to go to, those old patterns don't resonate with your goal. So you have to release them and let them go, because they can't be in your body if you're going to achieve those goals. So say you're too impulsive, then it's because you're being pushed by those old patterns that you don't want to see. But then you won't reach your goal. What you'll be doing is going like that. So it's kind of nice to have these retrograde movements that actually say, like, shh, come back, shh, take it easy. I know you're enthusiastic, but part of that enthusiasm is what you can see in the future for yourself, but another part of that enthusiasm is not. So we have to just like slow down, really feel it, be sure of what you're feeling in your body, if it is what you like, if it's what you desire, and let go of anything, any emotions or any patterns or any blockages or any ways of behavior that are too old for you now.
Oh, we just got a bit of a freeze. Oh, we just had a bit of a freeze there, but hopefully, yes, totally understand that. One of the ways I think to do this well is, I think when we do retrogrades is, I now understand. So I think if we go backwards over things, or apparent movement going backwards over things, say, I now understand. Why is this going on? Why is all this going on? Suddenly a retrograde, all our energies go completely up in the air, because I'm not prepared for this. But then we go backwards and go, get it. I understand. So there's a nice energy here. So yes. Okay, just a question here. Can people still be successful during retrogrades?
What's successful?
Okay, so we talk about career, for example.
What's successful?
Okay, let's talk about, that's a good question. So can people still achieve things or do well in careers during retrogrades?
What is successful to you? For you? What do you think doing a career, having success is? Is having success earning money, earning recognition, doing? If that's having success, you're not going to have a good time from now onwards.
No.
Because that's not what it's about anymore. So I just saw this video this morning on Instagram, this guy called Aaron Doughty, and it's just young bloke, but he's American, very loud, but he says a lot of interesting stuff, right? And he was just talking about like different spiraling levels of consciousness and from orange to green, And orange would be this loud way of achieving and obtaining, and even spirituality often is trying to be conquered. Let's conquer spirituality. Let's achieve spirituality. Let's obtain the goal. Let's get there and work, work, work. And it's not about that anymore. We're going now into a green level of consciousness, which is, well, as the green suggests, it's heart and it's nature. And so success from that perspective is actually being using less energy to get where your heart wants you to get. It's using your heart as an internal guidance system. It's being sustainable. So that would be the new way to express success in life.
I think so.
It wouldn't be to achieve anything, and it wouldn't be based on hard work.
I think so too. I think that's a great way to put that, actually, is that to use your heart rather than to use your head and feel with things. Just get into that. It's like what you're knowing, what you're understanding, what you're sensing, what you're feeling. And I think those are big things there. Also, those who just joined the show, this is Guiomar. We're doing a spiritual astrology show, and we have a little chat about the retrogrades that are going on. And one little more conversation I'd love to have with you is we have coming up soon Venus going retrograde. And we all think about love, we all think of beauty, we all think about money. And Venus is going to go retrograde in Gemini. And how's that? What's your view on this? What's your take on Venus going retrograde? Is this going to be a chaotic time? Should people worry? What should people do when Venus is retrograde?
Well, I was born with a Venus retrograde, and just now in progress chart, it's conjuncting my Venus.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So that for me, it has to do, especially in an air sign, it makes it more difficult to relate to other people, to actually understand other people. So, I mean, we do have a North Node in Gemini that just got in here last week, and that's asking us to really understand relationships and where we're coming from and where the other person's coming from when we relate to them. And I think Venus retrograde is not going to help in this sense, but at the same time it is, because if we actually have relationship issues now, especially at the beginning of the North Node in Gemini, which it's going to be there for 18 months, so we can start off seeing all the difficulties we have in the relationships.
Yes. Yes.
So I think if we see that those difficulties now, like, it's not only how do I relate to my partner, to my boss, to my coworkers, my friends, my family. It's also how do I relate to myself? How do I relate to the world? So how do I want to relate to the world? What place do I want to relate to with? Or
yes.
My English is not very good today, I guess.
No, that's fine. Fine. It's interesting because Venus we often associate with its love, its beauty. I mean, a lot of astrologers say when Venus is retrograde, don't go and have plastic surgery. Don't go and have plastic surgery, and don't go and do things to beauty because it will go wrong. Don't do things. It's the thing here with any retrograde that please tell me if you think if it's right or wrong. Is you can do what you like during a retrograde, but you just got to double check. You've got to be careful. Make sure things are very clear. Maybe especially when you get the personal ones like Mercury and Venus. Double check, triple check. Everybody understands what's going on, and have a plan A, have a plan B, and maybe even a plan C. But regarding beauty and makeup, when we're having a Venus retrograde, I just say be careful. Be careful here. And it's also the ruler of fine dining. So, and it's interesting, isn't it? We just came out of retrograde, and fine dining is going to be hit by a Venus going retrograde. So they're going to have to change a little bit or adapt, especially with the moon's nose going to Gemini. How we're going to how fine dining, for example, is going to be expressed, how it's going to come across, because people aren't going to be able to go into restaurants the way they used to, at least not for a while.
Yeah. This is what you said about Venus retrograde and what people say about Mercury retrograde and so forth. It's like the way I see it, it doesn't make that much sense, because it's good that you say it, because a good thing that affirmation allows us to connect with is the importance of being mindful instead of being just reacting. upon things. So it's a good thing that people talk about Mercury and Venus retrograde, but it's not a question of should I do this or should I not do this at this moment, because if you are actually embodying this energy, if you're actually feeling this energy, you would automatically go slower.
Mm-hmm.
You would be less reactive.
Yes.
And you would integrate what this energy is inviting you to integrate quicker. So it's not a question of should I do or should I not, because that means you're at a mental level. If you're a mental level, you're missing the point. It's about being at a heart level. So having said that,
love it.
Venus, sorry, for me, Venus is the symbol of Venus is the symbol of the feminine. It's a circle with a little cross at the bottom. The cross symbolizes, amongst other things, the earth. So it's the connection with the earth. So for me, Venus is like an acupuncture needle you put on a place. So that way, I think I've mentioned this before in a show before. So it allows your attention to be focused on something. And Venus is related to beauty, because beauty and harmony is what we need for our focus to be focused, for our attention to be focused. Because if something is not beautiful or is not harmonious, we don't want to look at it. It's much more difficult to actually focus. So beauty is in the world, so we can focus our attention on the world, and that way we can bring our soul down into our body. That's the purpose of Venus and beauty. It's to incarnate the soul.
Okay, absolutely. I love your descriptions. I really do. Really do. I just love your way of astrology. I think it's beautiful. Anyway, right, okay, we're at 11:25, and I think, people, you know what happens when you hear this sound. Yes, it's coming up to that time when I think we ought to do some readings. A few people here written in, well, about 30 of you. A few people are written in, and it'll be yes. Now, actually,
Bill,
yes.
2 seconds. I'm going to have to close the window, because they're making a lot of noise outside. So just 2 seconds.
How dare they do that when they know the show's on? Well, what do people like? What do people like? It's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, so just to give some feedback to Helen Grady, we were doing a mediumship show last night, and some of the messages could be a moment in time. However, we had some feedback after the show because some internets went down, and a lot of people came back and said, actually, I could take that. We just couldn't get back to you to respond to that message. So that was lovely. And yes, we'll be giving you some more news very shortly on Helen and I's next show. But in the meantime, though, let's get back to where we are here. So we've got a few people here listening, and let's go and have a little crack on here. So we're going. Now, the first one I come to here, I am useless at pronouncing this lady's name, but I'm going to have a go. Okay, Mariska. I think I've done it right. Mariska. Now, Mariska is born on the 14th of 2nd, 1972. She's gone for the colour royal blue, and she's a 279 in numerology. And she's got life path 2, and she wants to know about her love life. Here we are coming up to the point when Venus is like putting on the brakes from going forwards and slowly starting to come to the point in the station we're about to go backwards. And now we're about to go into this time of re-evaluating everything we're doing in our love life. And what a card to have here. We've got the Hermit here. The Hermit card. And the Hermit here really is about deep thinking. The thing here is about deep thinking. This is a lovely card here. Just about Helen Grady gives me, yay, I've done it right. So I got Mariska just right. Anyway, but the Hermit card very much is about, we go back into a place of thinking, a place of feeling with this here. The only thing with this is here, be careful we're not in our heads too much. Sometimes just need to calm, just to feel. And I think it's interesting here as well, what it's saying about Venus going retrograde, is to try to understand what the other person wants, where they're coming from, where they're trying to relate, what's being misunderstood, and where the bridge is for us to meet halfway across and say, I get you. I know where you're coming from. And sometimes we get energy there. And you're on a personal year 2. That's interesting. You ask you about your love life, because personal year 2s very much are about the balance of emotion and the balance of emotion, how we get on with other people, and who we need to be with. Now, what is also indicated to be here is also about behaviour. And I say about behaviour here because I'd also like to pick up with this, just as a bit of a message that I'm feeling here, is that we can't accept negative behaviour, because with negative behaviour here, we have a certain method on this show how to deal with negative behaviour or negative thinking. Brilliant example here how to deal with this, because we don't allow this on the show. Just ready for this? We shoot. Yes, we shoot negative behaviours or negative feelings. That's it. So if you've got a negative feeling there, just remember, shoot it. That's it. Because then it's gone. It's gone. How's that? Is that better? Anyway, so let's have a little look here. So I'm going to come back to the tarot cards in just a moment. But the thing here is, I do pick up with this here, is to stand in your own energy and through your heart. And very much about you stand for this here. But any negative behaviour, no. That's the wrong here. But it's standing in your own ground here, say, this is me, this is who I am, this is what I'm prepared to give out, and this is what I need back. If you cannot give back, now let's go to the Star Lady. Let's go over the road to Javier. Let's see the Guiomar.
Hi, Mariska. Mariska.
Mariska. I know.
Mariska, how are you? So Mariska was born on Valentine's Day, and she's asking for love. That's interesting. So the thing is, have you guys ever thought that why is Valentine's Day celebrated in the month of Aquarius?
The oddest month going. It should be Taurus or Libra.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because Aquarius is all about detachment. It's about being free. It's not about, codependent and romantic love and mama, I love you and here's your roses and all that stuff.
And all that. Yeah.
No. Aquarius goes, ew, get away. I don't want that. Okay, so you're born in that in that time of year. So basically, Mariska is Sun, Mercury, Moon, and North Node in Aquarius.
Wow. Wow.
So
that stopped me in my tracks just then.
Freedom. And then you have Lilith in Libra, which also adds to the freedom thing, as well as with an aspect to Mars, and then Jupiter and Saturn, but that's a bit different. So basically your chart says freedom. I want to do things a different way. I want it to relate in a different way. I want to have a true relationship, which is based on freedom, which means basically I do what I want, you do what you want, and we coincide. That's cool. If not, it's not. But your Lilith is also with Saturn, and Saturn takes a long time to realize that that's not the way things are supposed to go. Lilith Saturn wants to be more status quo orientated. Things should be a certain way. What else do you have there? But that's the only thing that's really dragging you down, because this chart, it's like, okay, Mars is in Taurus, which kind of, it's like I have my drive, and then you have Venus and Chiron in Aries, and Jupiter and Neptune in Sagittarius. So it's all about it's not about having partnerships that are love the same way, let's love each other and hold our hands. It's not about that. I hope you've realized that by now. So yeah, you have to look for a kind of partnership where you can never get lost, where you can always be you, and don't depend on being looked at or acknowledged. And it's also very important with that moon in Aquarius to actually connect with your body, because if you're not very well connected to your body, it's very easy for you to just go into the mind, or maybe if you find a guy that's really interesting, his chit chat or the way he talks or his knowledge might just go wow, this guy's so cool, and you can get lost in that. So I think it's important for you not to get lost in other people's thoughts. Be mindful of this, and really, considering the North Node is in Gemini, what I would do is I would make a list of what I like about an ideal partner for me and how I would like to feel with that partner. So you don't want to make a list thinking about any particular person. You just want to list the things that make you feel good, because otherwise you might get lost in the other person, and that doesn't serve your purpose, because you won't feel good with that.
I love that, and I think here what's important by this here is that your tarot cards come up here, and one of the things that they're indicating here is is that your partner there is trying to say that he's right, and his way is pretty right. Where you're concerned here, you're sort of going, I can see you sort of going along with this, but then not feeling it. And it's important here in a heart year that we're in 2020, it's a heart year, you've got to feel it from the heart. Now, and your Hermit card is really going within yourself to really understand this. And I think it's one of the things that comes out through this is the ability to stand on your own 2 feet, not going to say controlled, maybe controlled is the wrong word, or in awe of, and I think as you said it, in awe of other people. I think it's that need to be able to feel that life can get easier. You need an easier relationship. And I think here is to put that across. Don't be afraid what you want to say. Your cards is saying here, being within sometimes people can't guess what you're thinking. They've got to hear it from you. Hear it from you here. So I think that's the important part there. I know sometimes we're scared that we don't want to say too much in case, oh God, if I say it, that's it, it's going to break the relationship. Well, if it isn't a strong relationship on the right values, then why are we feeling these things and not expressing them? Yeah. Yes. Anyway, so there we go. Right. Okay, let's move on.
And can I add a thing? What happens also, because you've got Mishka, you've got Pluto, Venus, yeah, and you have Saturn in Taurus, which means that you have a very core, big insecurity issues. So sometimes when we're very insecure, we're attracted to partners because we feel more secure in a relationship. But what's going to happen is that the partner is going to have exactly the same insecurities as you, but opposite coping mechanisms. So sooner or later, that will become obvious and your old triggers will come up, and that's what makes the relationship fall apart.
Yes.
So it's working on your own inner security.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a very, very big point, inner security. And because it's within here, you're holding the real you, but you're not expressing the need to express it. Okay, good. We're going to move on to a very nice lady here called Sharon. Sharon was born on the 26th of 10th, 1969. And she's a 347 in numerology. Her card here, ooh, very nice card. She's in a life path 7. A personal year 4. The question is management, the next stop in my career for me. Now, this is interesting. This is an interesting one here. We actually had an amusing conversation earlier before this here. Is say here, at our ages in our lives here, in Spain, a lot of people, they don't really change their jobs at around this sort of age. In England, we're still going through job changes all over the place. And we're still enjoying our little lives in that respect. And, right, okie dokie. Let's have a little look here. So the three in your numerology here says, well, it's very much about a Mercury thing. It's a Gemini thing. It's that, although you're not Gemini, but it's very much about needing to communicate. It's the need to express, the need to be free, very free here. But the 4 here says, but I need to be secure. I need to be secure. I've got to have a base here where I'm very strong, my feet are on the ground, and I know exactly where I am. I am the builder. I am the builder in some respect here. So, and also, but then you've got the 7. Now, this is interesting here because 7 in tradition would normally say here, but I like my cave. Like my cave, they like to hide in their cave here in some respects. They think, why am I coming out to go and do something like this when I've got all these nice lights, I've got this nice sofa in my cave, and it is quite nice. And but your 7 here is also spiritual. It also likes to do something. It's interesting here in this particular year here is do something which creates a base for you where you feel very secure. So although you can have your cave, it's if your cave is like, well, I haven't got enough money coming into the cave, or I need more strength here, then we need a particular year, which just so happens to be this year, because you're in a personal year 4. So this is about base. This is about, right, okay, I'm going to create a better structure for me. Now, if you're going in to go and do something here and you're looking to change the energy here, I would say here the way you're going to is a job where you have to, in a very lively place, it's got to be upbeat here because that's what's going to bring you out. That's what's going to make you quite happy here. Now, it's also here coming, I know we talk about the heart, but it has to be a job that actually comes from the heart for you to engage it. Otherwise, it's just no point. No point. You'll be doing a job just for money and it's not going to work. So I might as well go back to the old job or the old life here. Now, question is management the next stop in my career for me? I would say yes, because you need that strength, that stability here. However, be mindful though, it's got to come from here. It's got to come from a heart. Sometimes we go into structure here, we're just thinking, hey, I want to climb a ladder because we're thinking from our head, we've got to be almighty, all power. It won't work. won't work. So this really has to, and we've got these retrogrades coming in now. So it's like to say here, no rush, no rush. We need to come back a little bit. Now I can see Guiomar going, well, she's itching. I can see her jaw and her teeth going, I want to say something. And okay, right. So let's go and have a word with Guiomar over there in Javier, the star lady. Here she is.
So hi, Sharon. So Sharon's a Scorpio with the moon in Taurus.
Ooh.
And the North Node is in Pisces. So Scorpio is a strong personality, very intense. The moon in Taurus needs a lot of feeling of security, like Phil was saying. And then the Lilith is in Cancer, and Lilith in Cancer and with Pluto is very, very sensitive to people's energy. And that North Node in Pisces can be very pushy with people, like telling everybody what to do and how to do it. And then the moon has no aspect. It's on its own. It's in Taurus. So it's a very sensitive, and like I love the cave analogy, because that's exactly what it is. It's a person who's very much in the cave. So the Lilith Cancer is, as I said, very sensitive, but can believe that the goal to life is achieving, but it's actually in the past, in your family's past, there are people who have not had success in what they've done. But the key to everything, as Phil was saying, is going in deep to the heart. And from the heart, really connecting with your sensitivity, because if you don't really acknowledge it, it can be so overwhelming that you go too much into the mind, and then you can become too pushy, and then you can get hurt by people, because that will come back to you, because of that Lilith Pluto, Lilith Cancer, telling people what to do is gonna make you feel worse, and it's gonna get everybody alienated from you. So I think for you, working digitally from your cave is really good. It's the best thing. Or as Phil said, with a very light environment that you create, because a Lilith Cancer needs to create their own harmonic place and environment. So everybody that goes into that environment plays according to your rules, but not the rules that you dictate them, but the rules that come from you, which is a little bit different. I mean, with Lilith Cancer and Lilith Pluto, there can be, and also that Scorpio, Moon Taurus, like a big sense of not being understood, or of being better alone almost. Okay, so it's respecting that sensitivity you have, and understanding that you can really, even if you don't know it, you can really feel into people's blockages and pains. But what you feel from people, they don't feel it in themselves, so they don't know it. So you don't need to react on top of that. You don't need to tell them anything. You just need to acknowledge it, connect with your heart, and just feel that. Like, you can say to yourself, from the best of me to the best of you. That way you activate.
That. Oh, I love that. The best of me to the best of you. I think that's lovely. That's lovely. Yes. Yes. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, on this here, on your tarot cards here, the card that comes up, which is just, I can understand why you're asking this question this morning, is because we've got the moon here. And the moon is just like, I'm confused. I'm confused. Your card here for your personal year, and your life path is the Chariot. And the Chariot here is about this movement, but we've got division here. So I can understand why you're asking this. So should I? So I think here it really is about coming from your heart. I do believe it's right. Now the Master card here, which is the underlying issue card I pull out for people, strength. If you're going to do something, it's because the higher purpose is for you. Not what other people think, anybody else think, it's for you. And if you feel this is right for you, Sharon, go for it. Go for it.
But it's important that you respect your body and what it tells you about the atmospheres that you go into.
Yes.
Because if it's not a perfectly harmonious and beautiful atmosphere, then you're not going to feel good in it. And you have to respect that. So it's a good giveaway, is that the place you're in has to be harmonious. Don't just be like a boss of a place that is ugly, or that the energies are off, or that it just doesn't feel good for you. Really respect that sensitivity in you and make it a very harmonious place, and then you can be a leader and show people the way to go without telling them what to have to do at each moment.
What's interesting about that, I totally agree with you, because we've got in the numerology is a 3, 4, 7, and we've also got a personal year 4. So the life path is a 7, and a personal year is a 7. What's interesting with this here is that the 4 is exactly as you're saying it. It needs to be an environment that you feel I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place. It fits with me. It generates. So Sharon, hope that helps out there. Now, all these new people this morning. We've got new people joining in, so that's absolutely lovely. And hello to everybody, and hello to Marie, hello to Mel, hello to the producer. Always got to say hello to the producer, and to Karen, and to Helen, and to everybody else, and Eleni, everybody else who's out there. Right, Helen Graham, she's got a colour blue. She's 29th of 2nd, 1968. She's a 10-1, life path 1, and personal year 8. Question is, what's the right thing to do? Okay, this is good. Well, a 10-1, well, one is, well, this is interesting. This is very interesting here. Sharon, I'm glad you like that. She just says here, thank you. We just read for her, and she just says, thank you, fantastic guidance. So I'm glad you liked that. Glad you liked that. And a little bit of a, I think we need a little bit of a hoot there just for Sharon. There you go, Sharon, good for you. Right, so Helen Grape, it's interesting here, she's a 10-1, life path 1, personal year 8. This, just by these cards here, is about power. It's about power, but it's also about here, what's the right thing to do? Well, the answer here is you know the answer. That's what I would say. And because your card here is the Magician. Magician, very, very powerful card. Your 10 here, now it's interesting because tens have 2 karmas to them. They have the one, which is the individuality, what I want to do, my purpose, what I want to go and do in my life. The 0 part here is very much about, I'm coming into this new time in my life here, and the 0 is about things I want to do, things I'm going to go and achieve, because you've got an open checkbook, so to speak here, an open book, and you can go and do things in your life here that you really want to go and do. So what's the right thing to do? Well, the question is, what do you want to do? What do you want to do here? That'd be one of the questions I'd ask you. Because I think I would say by your energy here is the power needs to come back to you, is where I'm going, how I want to lead my life. Helen, that would be the most important factor I would say here is, and not to give your power away to other people saying what's the right thing to do. It has to come from you, and it has to feel good, has to feel right. And when you've got cards like the Magician here, it's almost like here, you're almost making a strategy of some kind. Strategy. It's almost like I'm making a plan, a strategy, and if you did this, what would happen next? What would happen next? That would be an important part here. Your personal year 8, again, is about power. It's the Chinese symbol of infinity relates to this. If you turn the 8 and put it on its side, it goes back and forwards like this. Lovely energy. The Chinese look at this as being very positive, but they also look at it as being sometimes the opposite. And basically the reason why is because what our intention is. If we come from our heart and you're taking your own power, fantastic. That's where we need to be, Helen. That's exactly where we need to be. Now, I'm going to come back in a little shorty, and I'm going to work on the tarot cards with this as well to give me more insight to this here. But I would say here, by those energies there, we really need to start looking about what you want for yourself. That's the important part. Never mind everybody else. It's about you. Okay, I think we need to pop over to Javier to have a word with Guiomar. Guiomar, what's your input here?
Hi, Helen. So Helen's a Pisces with the moon in Pisces. So that's a very sensitive combination. And Lilith is associated with the moon and Pluto, very similar to Sharon. So again, sensitivity. So Lilith moon or Lilith Cancer, as I said before, or Lilith 4th house, it's all about understanding that you're so sensitive, you feel through people's blockages and you feel the secrets they hide. So if we understand this, we stop worrying about those secrets, we stop engaging with those secrets, or also Lilith Pluto, with those cellular memories that are, people's traumas or traumatic ancestral past. You're feeling all this from people. So with the Pisces energy, Pisces can get stuck in just feeling, oh, people are feeling things, oh, people are hurting, or people, and then if you do that, your North Node is in Aries, so South Node is in Libra, which is what Phil was saying a bit before, it's that you can get totally lost in what's going on with everybody else. And then if you do that, you're not being you. you've lost it. You've really lost it. So the image I get for you is something like, imagine that you have like you're in a white room, or in a clear bubble or something like that, and there's this like dark cloud that is behind you. And so if you stay still, the dark cloud just fills the room up, or fills your bubble up with its cloudiness, and then you can't see anything and you don't know what you're doing. But if you keep moving, if you just tell everybody what to do, if you just keep everything like nice and clean and tidy and cleared and, maricondo type thing, and just keep moving, then you'd be an excellent organizer of people, because all that Pisces energies, when you move, and with that North Node in Aries, it's very, very good for pushing people forward and saying, let's do this, let's do that, because Pisces can have this incredible automatic instinctive overview of everything that's going on and say, okay, let's go that way. So you have to move so that cloud doesn't eat you up, right? So whatever it is, always movement, a light movement. Okay.
Yes. Lovely. Helen, let's do the tarot list here and see. Okay, so the question is, what's the right thing to do? I'm going to have a little look. If they listen. Well, the answer here is, if they don't listen, you make your own choice. 2, 3, I'm going to go middle cards on this here. If they listen. Yes, very good. It's interesting when people say that, isn't it? If people listen to me, if they don't listen to me, then you're talking to a brick wall, aren't you? Yes. Now, what's interesting here is, because your card here, if you take your own power and do your thing, that's what you attain, the world. Sorry, it's a bit bright in the sunlight there. You attain the world. And I can see that there's someone around you, probably a gentleman around you here, who's trying to dominate and take control. And there's a lot about money. The thing here is to be careful that we're not giving all our value to everybody else, and we're not having our own value as ourselves here. So that's very much, Helen, here. I hope this works for you. But this really is about what is it you want. So the right thing to do is what you want. Now, it's not about the dominance of everybody else. Definitely not. Definitely not. Okay, thank you for lovely comments here. Sharon says, I love the energy you bring to this. Brilliant, and thank you for doing it. No problem. Thank you very much for your lovely comments there. And I have another...
And for Helen, another thing, just to add to what we said, for Helen, it's like, feel that dark, cloudy energy that I was talking about. So whenever you feel it, or whoever it comes from, just go like very Tinkerbell type, like, oh, yeah, whatever, and move to a different direction, so that cloud doesn't catch up to you, because it doesn't need to be a part of you.
Exactly, and we don't need to make it too obvious. Yes, I think that's sometimes doing things in beautiful tact. I love your little image there, the lady with the purple hat and the fluffiness. It's almost like doing things very gently, sweetly, but moving it in your direction. I'll show you in a minute. I'll bring you the image back up. Right, little question here. Mel, my understanding of the personal years are the current year in now and how the year will turn out based on your date of birth. Hope this helps you. Yes, that's absolutely right, Karen. Is your date of birth gives you your life path. Your personal year is your day of birth, the month with this year. So that's how we work out personal years. So hopefully that helps out there. Good. Let's go. Right. Okay. And right. Yes. So it's lovely, that image there. I love your image there. The little hat and the purple hair. I just bounce around and do things my way without making it too obvious, and just being in your power there. I think you'll be amazed at yourself how well you could do. Okay, let's go on to Dawn. The dawn has risen, and Dawn is here. Hang on, we'll do this one for Dawn. That's it. Hello, Dawn. 3rd of the 2nd, 1979, 314. And she just says here, general reading, please. General reading. So, Dawn, if you're there, please let us know. Give us a little hi. Give us a little hi. And just say a little bit of let's just see what the... just listening out here, see what the producer's up to. Yeah, she's still flogging the group. Yeah, still flogging them. Keeping an eye on them. That's nice to know. And what else is she doing here? Yes, she's running around. Wow. Anyway, right. Let's move on to Dawn. And okay, right. The Cafe Clairvoyance here says, hello, I'm experienced by my computer, so I cannot respond to individual people. And If any question about the Cafe Clairvoyance shows, please join the Cafe Clairvoyance group and I'll do my best to answer you. So internet problems are definitely flashing around this morning. Luckily, I have a dongle, so any internet, I bypass it by going through my little dongle. But yes, sometimes when it plays up, it plays up. Okay, she just wants a general reading. She's a 314, 304 here, and your card here, being a 4, is the Emperor. The Emperor. This is about power, control, and being in our own little light there. So now interesting here as well, here about 3 or 4, we've got a personal year 9. It's something is ending this year, something very big is ending for you this year, something you're going to move on from. It can even be a move of some kind here, and almost like picking up as well. And I'd also would say here that this energy that you're going through this year is making decisions which I think are going to be are going to be pretty big. This is a big year. And yes, now your person, yes, so it's the 9 with this I'm looking at here. Your 3 is about networking out there, needing to learn, needing to talk, needing to feel how I feel. Your 1 is about how does this feel for me, how I'm relating to people. It's almost like you're a radar out there connected with everything, and then coming back to yourself, how do I feel for you? This 4 here is about being grounded. So for you to change anything here, Dawn, must be pretty hard work. Really hard work here because you get used to things. You get used to your feet on the ground. You get used to that energy, which is why that comes up there a little bit. But anyway, let's, yes, your card here being the Emperor is about strength here, but to make things move is sometimes a struggle. And let's go straight over to the astrology. Let's go over to Guiomar.
So, hi, Dawn. Dawn's in Aquarius, Moon in Taurus. So that's kind of like, wait a minute. So your moon side, which is the emotional, your ego, your mother, and all that stuff, the past, wants to be in the comfort zone, wants for things to be easy, to be secure, to be able to touch things. But your sun in Aquarius wants the exact opposite. Your North Node is in Virgo, so like if you stay put too much, you can get depressed. So you can't stay put. You have to, it's movement's better for you. Then your Lilith is with, again, this Lilith Saturn, as we saw before. So it's Lilith Saturn has a tendency to think you have to achieve success in life. And we were saying at the beginning of the show how success isn't like anything with effort and that you have to get money, you have to achieve a position. That's success doesn't make sense like that anymore. Success is being comfortable, having a nice house, living in a nice place, doing what you love to do, being able to enjoy your free time. That's the new success. So I think it's important that you integrate that if you haven't already. And also with Lilith within Leo and with the Sun, it's a lot about, and with Mars, it's a lot about showing your individuality and your creativity to the world and being your own self. And it's not about just letting, if you want people to recognize you, you're going to have a really hard time. If you want to be acknowledged by society, it's not a good way to do things for you. You really just have to do whatever you want and let the security come from just enjoying what you're doing.
I think so too there. Yes. Now, let's have a little look at Dawn here. Through a tarot card, I'm going to go to the left on this one here, and let's have a little look. The purple colour here is quite intense as well. It's interesting about a Taurus things coming out this morning. I think that's, yes.
There's a Venus with no aspects also in this chart, which means that we were talking about that before.
Yes, we were.
Like Venus retrograde,
yes.
Venus no aspects is similar. It's somebody who can be very nice and gentle with people and be very pleasant, but at the same time needs to be inside themselves, which is a bit like a common ground thing, a theme throughout the day today. It's like, yeah, I want to be with people, but not that much. I want to be my own boss. I want to be free. I want to do my own thing. And I think everybody so far has this in common, and we started out talking about this. So it's very much the energy of the day, which is what happens because Like in my consultations, I've really found out that whoever appears on a certain day to have a consultation, it's because their theme resonates with the theme of the day.
Yes. Oh, yes. Totally. Totally. It's interesting that. Very interesting. And yes. Now, it's interesting with your tarot cards here because they're extremely positive. It's about thinking positive, keeping positive thoughts there. Sorry, the sunlight is a bit strong this morning. I'm not complaining about the sunshine, honest. And yes, going there. And which is the Page of Wands. So it's like thinking positive, upbeat, keeping life going there. A very general thing there. But we're moving. We are on the move. We've got the Six of Swords here. We are on the move. And it's very much about homes, family life, sending that loveliness. And any worries about money was reversed. Any worries about worrying, don't think too much. Think too much here. I love that energy, that what you're saying about 2020. And I think this really is a year, a new generation altogether. We're not going to go out there and want to go and earn millions. We just want to feel comfortable, where it's nice. And sometimes, and I think that's something about Corona itself here, I think, has brought the energy into this, is how we've been able to just relax in ourselves and be in the home. And actually, hang on a minute, there is a new energy here. It's about being comfortable. It's not about having millions. So isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? We don't have to go out and earn millions now. It's fantastic. And I just want to say here, thank you to so many people who are sending out messages to Deborah, because she really does work behind the scenes like something else. She works on the show here, keeping connected with the group, sorry, with the live shows. She also is connecting with people in the group after the show. She also produces all the advertising, just about all of it. I do the design work for websites. She does all this. And she does a huge amount, and I love her very much, and she is just wonderful. So thank you very much. My dear little wife there in the background, and she's just wonderful. Come on, we've got time for one more. We'll do one more, because I think the show was a little bit there. Okay, Julie P. She's gone for the turquoise colour here, and she's born on the 20th of 7th, 1965. She's a 303, and she's a life path 303 and a personal year 4. Question: what career should I train for? And this is interesting. So 33, wherever it is, you've got to communicate. You've got to talk to people. You have to talk to people. Oh, isn't this lovely? We all love Deborah. Now, isn't that nice? Because I think she needs that. And she just says, thank you for your support. Yes. And everybody says there, thank you, Deb. Yes, she really does. There's loads in the background there. And right, okay, last part 3, personal year 4, and so we got the Empress card here. So the interesting thing here is, Julie, is I feel that this energy here, A, it's spiritual. B, what I'd like to say as well here, just tuning in here, I've got a lovely lady who's just joined me from the spirit world who wants to come straight through for you. I was working more on the psychic levels rather than actually mediumship, but I've got this lovely lady here who wants to step in, very, very close on your mother's side rather than your father's side. And I get a feeling here, would you understand about health not being quite as good as what you'd like it to have been, and life feeling a bit on the sort of heavy side here, but I'm feeling now, would you understand you'd like to do more for yourself? More of yourself, be a little bit more self-employed, do something here. Now, it's interesting here, I'm getting excited by her, because she's actually saying to me here, she says that, she wants to say here that to do something that is challenging you, takes you into a place of not danger, but excites you, because it's a little bit, this is risky, exciting, and go in that direction, because I feel you need to do something more for yourself. And this lovely lady here just wants to give you a big hug. And she was a very huggy lady. In fact, I've got 2 of them here now. One of them just wants to surround me and like hugs. And absolutely lovely. Quite a biggish lady is one of them. But the first lady I'm talking to here, I get the feeling. Now, it's interesting here, you've got a P to do your surname. I get this feeling this lady had a P to do with a Christian name, like Pam, something like this here, for example. But let's see. Anyway, yes. Now it's just going to be a K. No, not the P. It's just going to be a K. Okay, and it's just give me keys as well. Keys. So it's definitely something new starting up for you. Wow. I should think, Julie, you should feel quite excited. Quite excited here. So here she is. Yes. Okay. Julie goes, ooh, isn't that nice? Well, when a woman goes, ooh, it's quite good for a man. It's when they go, that's terrifying. That is terrifying. When a woman goes, what do you mean, What does that mean? Anyway, enough of this nonsense now. Let's go straight over. Let's go straight to Javier to meet.
So, Julie.
Pat, my mum. There she is. Yes, Pat. So the name came through. Yes, good. Okay.
Julie's a Cancer, and her moon is in Aries. So she's very likes to take care of people. It's very like a lot of instinct to just care for others, right? But North Node is in Gemini, so you're gonna get your nodal return this year, which is always a big issue, in a good sense. So don't worry. And you have to go. Your Lilith is Aquarius Sun, so it's more about being more impersonal as a mother and being more mother of others, like joining the group, leading a group, and being with people. Phil was saying about communicating. You have Mercury conjunct Venus in Leo, so it's about expressing creatively, which would be nice. But it's also that role of an inspirational, creative leader. And those mothering qualities that you have, instead of keeping it like in a very focused, maybe family environment, just to opening up and being impersonal with those mothering qualities and just irradiating them to the world, I think would be.
Absolutely. I think that's a very nice way of putting that. Okay, now let's have a look here. I'm going to go for the right. I'm going to go for the right on this here. Let's see what comes up. 1, 2, 3, and where are we going here? Now, ooh, wicked. The thing you've got to do here is whatever it is, plan it long term. It's going to be a long term plan here. However, I'm going to show this to you here because I need you to understand this, because you've also got the death card. The death card to me here is not saying about anything to do with someone passing over. It's about something stopping. What we've got to look at here is how we can keep communicating, because we've got the Knight of Rods here, but it's reversed. It's the need to keep talking here. Don't stop something that's in a good place, because you will earn money. You'll be successful, and I think you'll be a very happy woman. And yes, I can see this lady here, Pat here, the way she's talking to me at the moment, just wants to say to me, it's not all the right timing at the moment, and actually to go and do something in this time at the moment would mean doing a job we used to do in the past, which is that really where you really want to go, or do you want to do something new? In which case, if it's new, you're going to have to hold on a little bit, just a bit later. And guys, we've still got loads of other people to go through, but we're not going to do it on this show. We're going to transfer this to the Sunday show and the Tuesday show and the Wednesday show next week. But thank you so much to lovely new people who joined, and I hope you really enjoyed it. And big thank you to you all. An enormous thank you. The biggest, one of the biggest thank yous is to my good friend Guiomar, because she's an amazing lady. She puts up with me. That's not bad going. And that's sorry to call her merit for it. And her insight into astrology is absolutely awesome. So a big thank you to Guiomar. And,
thank you.
You're very welcome. And if you'd like to contact Guiomar, if you want something from Guiomar, like for instance, you like a reading, astrology reading, anything like this, then just contact us, and I'll be more than happy to send these details onto the show. But in the meantime, though, a big heartfelt thank from us both, and to all you lovely people out there, and have a lovely, lovely day. Keep safe, keep warm, and don't forget, if you have a panic time here, don't forget here, we've got. You can ring the phone. The first one is press 1 for panic, press 2 for chaos, or press 3 for cafe clairvoyance. It's calmness. It's calmness. Just restore the calmness. But you guys, big heart to you. Big heart. Big heart there. Big heart. That's a burger. That's a burger. And that's love. Burger, love. If you go to lunchtime, if you want a burger, you can have that. If you want a heart, you can have that. But lovely show to show you, and see you next Wednesday. I know we'll also chat a bit later on during the week, but give our love to everyone over there in Javier, and have a wonderful day.
Bye.